Gigi Creates. I'm Gigi, and this channel is where I show you crafting techniques, paper things, and junk journaling in general. So today I wanted to show you some of the projects I've been doing off camera lately. And this is over the past month. So I'm going to start with this book. And I really like it, and it's very luxurious. It's got, I don't know if it's real leather, but it has a leather texture. And it's got this signature on it. I don't know if it's real or not, but this is a Louis L'Amour book. So if you're a Louis L'Amour fan, I'm sorry. I didn't read the book, but I did read a few paragraphs when crafting. So let me get right down to it. I turned this book into a journal, a pocket journal, but also a writing journal, because it had sewn in signatures. So, you know, older books, this one's pretty old, but actually in very good condition. Some books have sewn in signatures, which are groups of paper. And if you look closely at the center here, you can see little tiny threads sticking out, which I have not trimmed yet. And you can see holes from the sewing. And so what I did is I took out all the pages, and I have them over to the side of me. I'd show them to you, but anyway, yeah, so I took out all the pages except for the 2 pages that glue everything together. Because in between each signature, or at the end of each signature, there are 2 pages that are glued together at the waist. And attached at the hip, whatever you want to call it. And so I left those pages in, so I don't know how many pages there are, and I've glued them together, so. And I used just plain printer paper. The printer paper is a little bit smaller. Now, this isn't a tutorial, by the way, it's just a flip through. I just wanted to show you what I've been up to. And I did some sewing. These pages were originally for a different journal. I don't have the book on me at the moment, but it's my journal cabinet. But I was sewing, as you can see, with a ribbon and just tidbits. I love this tag. Small things, and you got this little tiny snail. So cute. So that sticks out, and that's a pocket, obviously, and so is this one. These are just some tags that I made. If you wanted a tutorial on wrapped tags, clothing tags, leave a comment and I'll make one. So as you can see, the pages are all folded around. Now this took 3 pages, 1, 2, 3. And what you do is you fold over the first one down, glue here or along here, and then fold it downwards. And that creates a pocket in here. I glued these here to keep them in, put them a little wide, so I added 2 cards. And then there's a pocket right here, a pocket here, and a pocket behind it all. And you just fold up, excuse me, get that in there. You just fold up the page for this one. If you want a tutorial on that, drop a comment. And as you can see, more sewing, like for writing and just texture in general. I love feeling sewing in paper. And I was able to sew this little piece of paper in there. It's kind of cool. And I added some washi tape for extra space because I kind of gave up, because that was getting real boring. And this is a pocket, well, not a pocket there, but just an envelope to make it eventful. So going back to the first set of pockets, this pocket here is just this. And you can do that, obviously. And that looks pretty interesting. And this is the middle of the signature. And what I did was I did a wrapping technique so it is not sewn in at all. And this is an added page. I added that back in from the book. And then pockets here and here and here, and obviously the edges are all glued. So it's not just they stay there like that. It's that they're glued here. And then, kind of confusing, this looks like it's a pocket, but it's not. It's just another page. This is a pocket. I came up with this myself when I was following the tutorial. And it's a pocket, a double pocket. And some cards. And then a bookmark holder. I'm going to do a tutorial in the future on this. It's a book page bookmark, but I'm not gonna tell you how I did it because you'll have to watch the tutorial to find out, even though it's sort of self-explanatory. Excuse me, I'm trying to get this in here. There we go. And it's perfect size because it just sticks out just a little. And then next page, I haven't done anything with this one. And as you can see, there's a lot of like broken bits on the edges. That's because I slipped it in there because I had to use it for a pocket that I wanted to make. This is a really cool thing that I came up with. I was trying to make pockets, so I cut down the 6x6 paper in half, thinking, oh, I'm gonna make a pocket out of this, and then like, oh, I can't use this for anything. So I just decided to do this and fold them into little, even tinier squares, which I think are like 3x3, 4x4. And it's really cool. And then I just started kind of desperate times kind of thing. I don't know what this is. This is just punch outs. And it's supposed to be like you write here, and then you write this way, and then you write this way, and this way, and this way, and it gets wider and wider. This is from a card, like a Valentine's Day card. And then I just added an eyelet here and a tag that I made a long time ago. This is just a tag that I got from the dollar store and washi tape. That's it. You could literally make a whole bunch of these in a few hours. Pop in your favorite movie and get your washi tapes out and all the little tags and just keep going. And I know there's a lot of blank pages. This journal is meant for writing and decorating as you go. Also, there's more cards in here. I made this pocket myself out of 2 pages of paper. Obviously, I folded them in half and then I sewed and punched out an oval. Now, this is a photo claim paper, I believe. It's old. I found it when I was cleaning my craft cart out. And there's no personal information on there. So, it's really old, which is pretty cool. There's another one, but it has someone's information on it, so. And just more bits and pieces. This is like a book plate, and this is really cool. Look at this. This is from, excuse me, Jim Holtz, or no, Tim, I believe. In one of my last videos, I said Jim because I could not understand the cursive, so please forgive me. It is Tim Holtz. So, this is from the, what was it, field guide, or out in the field, like, you know, for a scientist of some kind that studies animals, or plants and things. And this is pretty cool. This is also from Tim Holtz stuff, I believe. Photographers to Her Majesty the Queen and their Royal Highnesses, the Prince and Princess of Wales. Royal Proclamation. And Crown Diamonds, whatever this is. Oh, looks like it says composed by, so I think it's like a song cover. And then on the other side, there's more map. This is actually of Paris, I believe. Can't really see much, but this is from the Paper Studio. And it's very nice and thick. If you can hear the niceness of the paper. This is Jim Holtz, or excuse me, Tim. And it's much flimsier than this is. And you get 2 of each in the Paper Studio. So if you're planning on getting ephemera, which is bits and pieces of paper and things like that, I would suggest getting the Paper Studio. I got both Tim Holtz and Paper Studio stuff because I've always admired the Tim Holtz, and I finally decided to get some. Okay, so this is one of the first sewing pages that I did with this journal. And I know I left the tails and I haven't gotten to cutting them, but I kind of like it. This is a tag that I made, but not for this specifically. I found it in my pre-made tags bag. I have well, maybe not thousands, but a bunch of tags, made and unmade. And yeah, this is a pocket. So, pocket, pocket. This was glued. This was sewn. Like, the white paper was only sewn. I didn't glue it at all. And then on the other side you have this cool writing bucket. Like, today I caught a bunch of fish and put them in a bucket. Like this one. And then this was an interesting idea that I had, I guess, but it's kind of self-explanatory. It's just, you fold a piece of 6x6 in half, diagonally, so it creates a triangle, and then add glue here and here. Just a little, but enough to hold it down. And this is a coloring page that I had started coloring, obviously, and never finished. So, I think I got it at the library, but it was originally supposed to be folded like this, but I thought this way would be better. And just slip it right in there. It's a little tall for the paper, but like it sticks out a little bit. And then you might think this is one card, but it's not. It's just 2 put together because I wanted something up here and down, or down here and up here. I'm doing it backwards. And just bits and pieces of things, you know, not much. Card. This is another cool pocket that I liked. I showed this in one of my last videos while explaining ephemera. It's a book cover, and this is a piece of paper. Linen paper, I believe. I don't know. It's cream colored, so it's not the same color as this. And that's just not the ink. That's not the inking. That's not the inking that's fooling you. It's a different tone. Color tone. And another sheet of that paper. And then the Statue of Liberty and another card. So, and if you're wondering where these cards came from, they came from some Project Life card packs for scrapbooks or photo albums. Project Life. And I got them at Ollie's. Now, the sale is over. It was on a while back. But if they still have it in your area, at your Ollie's bargain outlet, they were only $1 each. And you get little bits of, like, let me go back to the front here. This came in one of those, the Small Things plaque. It came in one of those. And this is a pocket, but I don't really like putting pockets there, so it's just like filler. They came in a little box with the pack, but the other packs that had more cards didn't come with a little tiny ephemera thing. Anyway, I'm starting to drift off here. Anyway, more ephemera. This is really cool. It's by Skillful Workman. So that's something you could put on a journal, and then some kind of certificate. And this is a pocket here. And then this is a pocket, if you can see that. So pocket, and then another pocket in front of it. And then you've got another pocket behind it. I think I will do a tutorial on how to make a journal like this, because how to make the pockets are difficult to explain. Of course, this one is self-explanatory. I just took the page, folded it back, right here, and then punched a hole with my circle punch here. This is 1 inch in diameter. I got it at Hobby Lobby. And glued it just here and at the bottom. So, I mean, that's really easy. Like, you could do that with printer paper. I also had a lot of fun with this. I just swished it around with the sewing. I had a lot of fun with that. Oh, and this, I made this out of one of the pages from, this book is called the Sackett brand, so I made that from one of the pages here, and I turned it into a writing space with some paper, this craft paper. It's thick brown paper. I don't know how much GSM it is, but it's very thick compared to printer paper. And I just tri-folded it and tore pages and inked and everything, all that. As you can see, the L, first L is blue because I didn't have enough gold L's. So then washi tape and sad, what is it? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Staples, sad staples. I didn't staple very well there. And it turns out this is stretchy fabric, so it's kind of odd, but I wanted jean fabric. I mean, it looks kind of cool. Can you see that? I mean, it looks kind of cool there. I really like this fabric. It's like pictures of pottery. And then we keep going and going and going. More washi tape, more sewing. Then we come to the end pages, which this paper is so cool. Then we come to the ending. So I have Ephemera from the Paper Studio, Project Life, and this says, sometimes that thing you're looking for comes when you're not looking at all. How cool is that? And then I wrote myself a little note, or if I plan to sell this, I cut this out and it's a little crooked. This book was made by GGC on 12/16/25. So this month, the 16th, this year. I'm gonna flip it around because I don't really like the writing. Then just slip all that in there. I wasn't able to get this sticker off, so I just left it. And then I thought this was pretty cool, so I left it. I just removed the digital barcode there. And the cool thing is, it's got all these stamps on it. You know how they used to do it when it was really old? Like when they didn't have digital, you know, scanning and stuff. Anyway, they use little stamps. So now, coming to the spine, you can still see underneath it the title, but I can move this down so you can see it. This is all unbound. All I did was wrap, as you can see, in between every group of paper. There's about 2 or 3 strands wrapped around. And it's not all done in one go. It's done per signature, so going to the middle of each signature, you'll find a knot. See? There's this little knot here. And I wrapped it around both of the strings for this one. Some of them had 3, others did not. Sadly, I kind of bent the cuff here and down here because I wrapped it extra tight and it was weak. But I really like the look of this. It gives it a blanketed look or a woven look. I mean, if I wanted to, I probably could have woven it in some kind of way. And it gives me the feel of that like exposed spine, but it's not really exposed. Anyway, I just tied it with this ribbon to make it look pretty cool. The tails were longer and I could have used them to wrap around here to create a closure, but I didn't. Anyway, I'm staying too long on this subject. Now I'm going to go to what I'm really excited about. This is the most latest journal, and I added this fabric and this lace and this paper. There was an image underneath that was imprinted. And this book is called Father Figure by Richard Peck, so I didn't read the book. I mean, I glanced at every few paragraphs. Ignore the word coffin there. I don't know why it's talking about coffins, but it was originally supposed to be a pocketbook, just like this one, which is also a writing book, but this was supposed to be full-fledged pockets only. And just more of those Project Life cards, which are both the big ones and the little ones. And this and this. This is really cool. It's like a mini calendar. If you collected a whole bunch of those, you could make your own calendar. And it's bowing, sadly, so. And more pockets. Can't really get this out of this because I don't know. Found this. And then another pocket and another pocket. This is from a card that I cut out. I cut this out of a card. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. This is another pocket, or no, it's just folded. It was supposed to be another collage page. Now, I did this one last, this collage last, but I'll show it to you anyway. I'm not that proud of it because, first of all, the light wasn't on, which is not really important, but I cut these out myself, and it's supposed to be like sisters or something. And I cut this off of a card, You and Me. And I don't know what this is, a chimney? I was getting that thought of like, whimsical house, but I don't know. I don't exactly like it, but I like the front of it. I think it looks pretty cool, the contrast of the stone or leaves or whatever. And the marble and the flower garland and the paper. And then going on, this is one of my favorites. I love this. This is from, this brown paper here is from a grocery bag. Like, if you live in the US and I don't know if there's Aldi's an Aldi in another country, but this came from an Aldi bag, paper one, and I scrunched it up, and it gave this kind of waxed paper, like the crinkles looked lighter than the paper that wasn't crinkled. Like, I don't know how to explain it. But then I rubbed my ink over it. I don't think it was this one though, it was a different one. And, excuse me, I inked it, and it gives us this really cool texture. And this is from a magazine. I believe it's water, because it has like bubbles and ripples that you can see when you're under the water. And then this was a punch out, and then all of these. This is from a letter, and then this is from an envelope. The green is from an envelope, this is from a letter. And it was actually a letter set. So... And then this is paper that I got at the dollar store a long time ago. I don't know if you can still find the paper packs, but it's of a bunch of ugly paper, but it has the coolest textures. That's what this paper is from too. It's embossed. It's got hearts and then polka dots everywhere, but in kind of like a more uniform way. This is paper from that as well, but this is like a postcard from something. I mean, it's not an actual postcard, but it's the size of a card. And then this is pretty paper that I've showed you on my channel before, if you've been here before. And I have not altered this book in any way besides gluing the pages and tearing out a few to make it a little leaner. Oh, this was the first one I did. I was inspired by this tissue paper. And this is more of that handmade. I'm going to choose that it's handmade. This is from a magazine. I remember what the magazine page looked like. It had some sort of model laying on something. Clothed, of course, if you're concerned about that. And that was part of her outfit, this feathery stuff. And it was actually this way instead of this way. But anyway. And this was an ad for earrings, so I cut them out and put them up there to make it look like it was a butterfly or something. And I think it looks really cool. And I also hid the date here. I mean, you can kind of see it, and there's the date there as well. I did this on the 19th, so a little bit after I made this. 3 days, actually. And then blank pages. Then I did this one. I'm not quite as proud as this one. This is more of that beautiful paper that I have on the cover. This is tissue paper from Hobby Lobby. This is from a paper pack. This is from a magazine. This is also from a paper pack. And I just folded up the page. And then I did this one from this. And then this strip right here was from making this flower. So I'm reusing the envelope cutouts. Oops. This was also in my scrap bin. This is from the paper bag. This is from a paper pack, and this is another piece of that magazine page that I used. See, it's the same kind of bamboo. And then I'm going to come back to this. I did this one. I added this later on. It's from tissue paper. This is tissue paper. This is adhesive paper, more pretty paper from a pack. This is from an envelope. It's gold paper. You can see the reflection in the video. I don't know. This was a punch out from paper, obvious. I don't need to keep saying that it was a punch out from paper because obviously it was from paper. And then I just cut off the corners to give it a nice look. Then, funny thing is, when I showed this to my mom, she's like, very geometric. And I actually like this one. This was from paper. The circle was already punched out, and I just cut around it like a hexagon or something. This was from a magazine, and this paper in the center of the flower was also from a magazine. And if you'll notice, I punched out this paper, not this paper. And this paper is what gave this flower its center. So I cut out the center from this flower to give this flower a center. And then I used the paper from here, cut it out, put it in here, trimmed it, and wow. So this is from letter paper, this is from paper pack, this is from that same letter paper that came with this. This is from magazine, and magazine. I have no idea what this is. I thought it was like a bow or something, but I think that's hair in a bag or something. But I think it's cool, unless that's an arm. I don't know. And then I purposely punched out the holes for this. This is the flap of an envelope. More of this paper. I love this paper. And then another punch out to give it kind of a tab. I cut off this part of the page and folded this part of the page down. And added some tissue paper and then covered up the other side of this because I added glue and I didn't mean to. This is also a pocket. So, dragging on, I know, it's just kind of, and that is as far as I got. Oh, and coming back to this was just me laying down some tissue paper. I tore kind of so that it would be around the letters, covering it up, but also making it look mysterious. And then I tore a piece of paper. It was like a book plate kind of thing. I know this would have been great on a book. And then I cut out this flower myself. And it's not a flower, it's a butterfly. I cut out this butterfly myself. Nearly cut off its antenna. Yes, I nearly beheaded the poor thing. And then glued it on. And it's kind of sticking up here, but anyway. So, if you would like to see me doing like a daily or a second video of me doing weekly inspirational collages in this book, because this is going to be my collage book. My mom is also starting one, so that's a good thing. But she has a way cooler book. She has one it's really old. And then I also made this. I showed this in my last video, how to make lace tassels. And you only got a glimpse of it, but I made this out of my own time, just like off camera. It was I kind of got to thinking, well, maybe like 500 Dalmatians with, what's her name? Cruella de Vil, because it's got red and black, and then I added the polka dots and all that. And these are stamps and things. Really cool little stamps. I don't think, I feel like I showed this to everyone, but on my channel before, but I mean I did, but I don't think I did a thorough thingy flip through. And this is actually a barn. I don't know what it is. I found the paper and it was like, hey, it's red. But I really love it, and I don't know why I find this so mesmerizing. But when I go to the center and seeing how seamless it is, but even though you can see the seam, I just find that satisfying. Doesn't that seem satisfying? I don't know, it's satisfying to me. Anyway, oh, I want to show this. This is called paper weaving, and this was from the offcuts from cutting down the pages. And this is supposed to be like, this book belongs to, you know, I feel like I've shown this before. I don't know why. But I did this on gift card, or no. It was a card. It's a Valentine's Day card folded in half. Or double layer of, gosh, my brain is not working. And I also want to say, this is still in my Hobby Lobby. And I don't know if it's still there. It was hard to find because it was, like, buried. There were more. I have 4 now. It's $10. This is from Ollie's. I don't know if they're still there, but they were there a couple weeks ago. And it is the Disney Sticker Anthology. It includes 1,026 stickers. It includes 8 sticker scrapbook scenes. And it has more than just Minnie, the Cheshire Cat, Pooh, and Dumbo. It has also the more current Disney characters, like this new Tangled movie or series. I don't know what it is. I've never seen it. It's got Tiana. It's got, well, the girl from Brave. I can't remember her name. And Moana. And then it's got bonus stickers for every section. So you've got Mulan, Ariel. Oh, excuse me, I'm getting hoarse. Did I already say Mulan? You got Aurora, Snow White. If you can hear noises in the background, I'm sorry. I say that every time. You got Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast. That's all it shows. It doesn't have the Frozen characters from the Frozen movies, like Elsa, Anna, Hans. This is really cool, because I can use these stickers in my journal. I'm going to be making, hopefully when I get enough supplies, a themed Disney journal. And there will either be a couple of pages or a signature for each character, like Daisy Duck and Donald Duck. She looks so funny. And then her head's there again. It's funny. She's like, what? And then Donald Duck. So like Daisy and Donald Duck. And then whoever that is. I think this has to do with Goofy. Yeah, there's a Goofy section. And Goofy and Friends, I suppose. Pluto. Etc. Etc. This has Alice in Wonderland. I know that's really popular right now. And then look at these scenes. This is from Robin Hood with the foxes. And then, I don't know what this is. The rock from The Lion King. The 100-Acre Wood from Winnie the Pooh. Princess Castle for the princesses, I guess. Cool swing. And then you got Toy Story. There are Toy Story characters in this book. Is there Frozen? Because this is a Frozen scene. Oh, and then that new movie Encanto that came out last year or most recently was that scene. I haven't seen it, but I know it's kind of popular. Yeah, you do have Frozen in here. You also have Raya and the Last Dragon and all kinds of stuff. And the Hercules movie characters, yeah. Encanto, Raya and the Last Dragon, Frozen, but only Frozen 2, looks like. Well, you got cartoon-y versions. Stitch. So basically really popular Disney stuff, new and old. Sword in the Stone, Peter Pan, etc., etc. I need to be done with this. Anyway. Now, I wanted to show you a few new things, like this. So, why is this here? You've seen this before, but you haven't seen this yet. I will make a video about this. It's a little tiny, kind of origami envelope, and then you've got these bookmarks, which I'm also going to show you how to make, as promised earlier when discussing this. Now this is pockets, so you got 2 pockets in there, and then washi tape and paper folded around. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can probably figure it out, on your own, but I'm going to show you how, so you'll watch the video. Anyway, so thank you for watching. Merry Christmas. And I hope to see you in my next videos. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. I want to get out there to more people and show them what I know because I love doing this. So, I hope to see you in the next one. I'm repeating myself. And I will see you next week.